Okay, so let's talk about something I think a lot of us feel. You know that sinking feeling you get when you're cornered into a conversation about, I don't know, the weather? Well, what if I told you that hating small talk isn't some kind of social flaw? It might actually be a sign of a highly intelligent mind. Let's get into it.
Yeah, does that sound familiar? For some of us, that question feels less like a real question and more like a script, you know? Just a social dance we're all supposed to do that has zero real connection behind it. If you've ever just wished for an escape hatch during some random chit chat, you're definitely in the right place. The world often slaps a label on this. They'll say it's rude or arrogant or that you're just being awkward. But what if there's something deeper going on? A more scientific reason? What if it's not you, but just how your brain is wired? So, before we get to the really cool psychology, we have to tackle the elephant in the room. We've got to talk about this hurtful myth that people who avoid small talk are somehow broken. Do any of these look familiar? I mean, arrogant, unfriendly, cold. I bet some of you have been on the receiving end of these. Someone who's quiet in the corner is automatically seen as judgmental, when in reality, they might just be waiting for a conversation that actually matters. And this is really the heart of the problem, isn't it? Your simple preference for something with a little more substance gets twisted into this idea that you're judging other people. It's this super frustrating cycle of being misunderstood, and today we're going to break that cycle. Okay, so let's completely reframe this. This isn't about disliking people at all. It's about rejecting the phony, superficial stuff. It's about having this powerful craving for something real. And there's actually a name for this. Psychologists call it a high need for authenticity. See, it's not just a little preference, it's a fundamental psychological drive to connect with the actual person standing in front of you, not just their polite social mask. I mean, when you lay it out like this, the difference is just massive. Small talk is just about filling silence, but deep talk, that's about building a real connection. One is just passing the time. The other is about creating something meaningful. So for someone with that high need for authenticity, it's pretty obvious which one feels worth the effort. And now for the really cool part, the science. Because this isn't just some philosophical idea. There are real, actual biological things happening in your brain that are actively steering you away from small talk. You know that feeling, that deep sigh, the boredom, the frustration that kicks in during all that superficial chatter? Well, that's your brain chemistry literally talking to you. It's sending up a flare, signaling that this whole activity just isn't rewarding. And it all comes down to this incredible concept called dopamine mining. Think of your brain as being on a constant hunt for little hits of dopamine. That's the reward chemical. And complex ideas, new ways of looking at things, real emotions, those things are like gold mines for dopamine. Small talk about traffic, it's like digging in an empty cave. And this chart just shows it so clearly. Think about it. You have a limited amount of social energy every day, right? A social budget. Why on earth would your brain spend that precious budget on something with such a tiny, tiny return when it could invest in deep dialogue and get that massive reward? Which brings us right to energy. This is why small talk feels so incredibly draining. You're putting in all this social effort, following the script, but your brain is getting almost nothing back. It's all cost and absolutely no benefit. It's just a bad deal for your brain. So let's put all these pieces together. What does all this mean for you? Well, it means it's time to stop looking at this thing as some kind of personal failing. It's time to start seeing it for what it actually is, a sign that you have a complex, curious, and intelligent mind. Seriously, just let that sink in for a second. Your desire to talk about things with substance instead of fluff doesn't make you antisocial. It means your mind is hungry for more complexity, more authenticity, more meaning. It's a feature, not a bug. So what's the game plan? Well, first, just own it. Acknowledge that you need authenticity and stop apologizing for it. Second, treat your social energy like it's precious, because it is. Spend it where you'll get a real return. And third, go find it. Proactively look for the people and conversations that actually light you up. At the end of the day, the goal here isn't to force yourself to become a master of small talk if it just feels wrong. The real goal is to understand why you feel that way and to honor it. It's about self-awareness, not self-correction. So instead of dreading the next superficial conversation you might get stuck in, I'll just leave you with this to think about. Armed with everything you now know about yourself, what deep conversation are you going to go start today?